In this video, I'm going to explain to you several key facts you need to keep in mind when dealing with narcissistic people, as well as certain things and some tips to be able to alert you and when you know you're dealing with one. Alright, number one, you need to keep in mind narcissistic people are addicted to negativity. And there are several types of narcissists out there. When you find yourself dealing with one, you may not even be aware that you are. They tend to be very deceptive types of people. They'll be pretty much, trying to dig through your defenses, trying to see, what is actually basically damaging to you, like certain key facts. It could be like a hurtful memory or something that is something that makes you vulnerable. Basically, they're going to be looking for key facts of this is digging into your past, stuff that you like, stuff that you hate, your favorite colors you don't like. It could be anything. So when they do this, they tend to also put information out as well, about themselves, but this is a ruse. It's not real, it's fake most likely, and it's only meant to just get by your defenses. It's just that simple. Now, the nature of a narcissist is that it's pure negativity. They arguing with, you can't you can't deal with someone who's a narcissist the same way you would deal with any type of other individual. It's just not possible, because first off, the usual would just be giving them what they want, and you not even know, you wouldn't, and if you were to do that, it's understandable because you wouldn't know, that that's the opposite of what you should be doing. For instance, when it comes to these narcissists, very addicted to manipulation. They always will love to argue because it gives them the attention, the recognition. They have this superiority complex to where they feel the need to be above everybody. They feel the need to be right all the time. And it's just, dude, just no. And I'm telling you, like, it's extremely petty and how far they go with this. It is. Now, they will talk trash about just about everybody within any inner circle that they've infiltrated in, a bunch of people that they are dealing with. They will talk massive trash about all of these people in a negative manner. But of course, trash means negative, and you get the picture here. So when it gets, so far we know, basically arguing with them won't work, because that's just giving them what they want. They want the attention and recognition. So in cases like that, there will be times where you're not able to do this, but just walk away. Just ignore them. Don't give them the recognition. Don't feed into their line of manipulation. Don't do this. Now, in other cases, there will be an argumentative situation to where you're in a position to where you got to defend yourself. They'll try to use situations like that to try to force you to stay into an argument. Now, that's what I dealt with when I was dealing with that security guard at the Greyhound station. That guy was extremely narcissistic. It was a position to where he couldn't win an argument, and so he wanted to change. He constantly tried changing the subject. I wouldn't let it happen. And as a result, after I had made myself clear and I made my statement known, and I wasn't going to be I'm not going to sit there and argue with the guy. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth. I made my case. I made my statement. And the more he acted out was just going to be a form of obvious harassment, if any of this, which of course the stuff he did prior to that was already harassment within itself. And he realized that, so we had no choice but to back off. As he was backing off, he kept trying to drop more and more lures, trying to get me to feed into the argumentative situation, and I just wasn't going for it. I didn't say anything until he left. Once he left, I just went ahead and called him exactly what it is: a satanic robot. These satanic robots who are controlled by the system. And which I mean when I say satanic robot, of course I mean the gang stalkers. Now then, the thing about a narcissist is that they do not fear, they don't fear guilt. They don't care about the guilt of the harmful things that they do to other people. They don't see the emotional damage as something as severe to the point to where it should be acknowledged. So they just, they don't really care about stuff like that. But when it comes to the things that they do prior towards themselves, that they really do, because the way everyone views them is extremely important to them. They always want to be in the high life. They feel like they always need to be, you know, practically, should I dare I say, worshipped or whatever. And it literally goes that damn far. I'm not kidding. It's literally that petty. I'm not joking here. It really, really does go that far. They want to be right about everything. They want to, you know, be in a situation at the center of attention, all of that stuff. And the thing is, almost just about every single person, once again, they will talk trash about everybody. You got to keep that in mind. Whenever the person who they're talking trash about will most likely will never be around. Sometimes they'll actually dare to even go as far as to talk trash about the person while they're there too. They will do this from time to time. However, if you ever get in a situation to where you give the narcissist the one thing they cannot stand the most, and that's giving them a dose of their own medicine. They cannot stand that. If you ever do this, you better be careful and watch out, because I'm telling you, they have an over exaggerated amount of aggression. This could be passive aggression just as well as outward aggression. Now, when you piss them off, they have absolutely little to no control over this. They try, but it clearly shows. And it's, whenever you do a situation like this, it's made pretty clear how ridiculous the stuff that they do is. It's made very clear how ridiculous it is, because what was the point? When you think about it, what was the point of all of this shit? If you don't want people fucking with you, stop fucking with them. It's just as simple as that. It's not rocket science. But do they listen to that? No. They still don't. They'll continue to do the same thing to other people. When it comes to emotions, theirs don't really have a foundation. It's like it's just like a black hole. They feel these emotions, but then at this very split second, they're gone. The only thing that they can actually sustain seems to be hate and negativity, for the most part. But any other emotion, forget about it. They can't stand ever being wrong. They fear shame, as well as the ridicule that comes with that shame of people seeing them for what they are, of their true nature being exposed, because then they can't hide anymore. They can't do the things that they once were doing. And when it's, once it becomes well known, well, people are just going to know that person's an asshole. Like, it's literally like that person is just a negative person, man. And it's not even, I don't even want to even resort to calling names, because like that's really just beneath me or whatever. It really is. I'm getting to a point to where like that is just, it's not even, whenever I see the nature of a narcissist, even if they try to discredit me, even if they try to argue with me, I'm like, you know what? Let me analyze the situation. First off, what am I getting out of this by exercising myself like that? Despite the crap that they do, I'm going to continue to do my best to help people out there, no matter what they say. Period. I'm going to try to find more information and more methods for people to be able to shield themselves, protect themselves, and do all of which they can, because I want people to be able to basically protect themselves from this evil evil generation of individuals that exist amongst us that are doing all these these evil deeds. I say no to their negativity. I say no to their manipulation. I say no to their unnecessary bullshit because it, I'm not consenting to any of it. I'm not willingly going to engage myself into that. But if it's to protect someone, then of course I will. If I'm put in a situation, of course I'm going to basically do what needs to be done to protect myself. And I'm telling you, I've ended up in conversations with some people who were very narcissistic, and I have pissed them off quite a bit, man. Very, very quite a bit, because the thing is, you need to keep in mind whenever you're dealing with a narcissist, they will always use a tactic. If they can't win an argument, they will try to change the subject. When you are in a conversation with one, do not raise your voice, do not stoop to swearing, because they'll use that as an excuse, for ammunition. I get, some people may feel some type of way by me saying this, but just try to understand that do not, the basis of do not give them ammunition. Don't do it. Don't let them break your cool. Don't let them get to you like that. Because when you act out and when you get, when you get yourself into an emotional state like that, they'll try to use that against you. They'll try to use that to manipulate you and stuff like that. And if I was to basically mention this on the basis of these weaponized technology or this manipulation, it's nothing different. It's the same thing. I have encountered situations where they did try doing that, and I said, F that, it ain't happening. And they got super pissed. I bet other people have had similar situations to where something like that has happened, where they'll try to manipulate your emotions whenever you're in mid-conversation. Of course, people who are probably watching this video, some of you who are new here who are not aware of what's going on, you probably don't understand. The thing is, the technology does exist for people to be able to manipulate both the thoughts, feelings and stuff like that in a synthetic based manner through technology. And the thing is that this has been happening to people for so long. They have been fighting to get the word out about this. They have been discredited over years and years, but this technology has been responsible for many, many deaths. I hope that a lot of people will continue to wake up to what's going on, so that we can, stand together to basically put a stop to it someday soon. If not now, actually. The sooner the better, to be honest. But anyway, let's do a recap here. So the narcissist's nature is negativity. They depend on you feeding them ammunition by basically getting into an emotional state, or such as an argumentative state, by breaking your cool, swearing and stuff like that, which, when you're dealing with a narcissist, don't do that. Learn your strengths, learn the strengths and weaknesses of them, and learn your strengths and weaknesses. Understand when some arguments aren't even worth your time, to where you can just say, this is just beneath me, and it's not even in my interest to even engage in an argument like this, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the choice to leave, because it's my choice to do so, because I'm not interested in being into a negative argumentative state of giving a toxified individual what they want. It's that simple. A lot of people try to feed this in another matter to try to basically, which I believe may be a psyop. And they're just trying to say, oh, you're running away, or oh, you're weak. No, you're weak. No. The thing is that you have a choice. Embracing the very thing that you do have a choice, whether you engage or not, shows that you are in control. They use methods such as trying to make you sound like you're weak. as a form of manipulation so that you probably would act out. So someone talks trash about you in public, they start saying all of these things, right? So what's the solution? Go up there and assault the person for talking trash? No. The solution is be better than that. Be better as a person. Look at what of most of you have done. All of you who I've met who have channels of your own giving out, helpful information, helping those out in need. Not even just that, not even just giving the helpful advice, but letting people know that they are not alone out there. The very fact that when we detox, the very fact of when we deprogram ourselves as best we can from this matrix, in any way, shape, or form, whether we change our diet, whether it's a spiritual change, whether it's just in a form of anything that is in a positive like nature. The very fact that we do that, the very fact that we put in effort to do any of these things, shows our rejection to this narcissistic, sociopathic, satanic, negative nature that they wish to implement onto us, or to condition us into, or to program us into. I believe I speak for all of us who mean, very well, that we reject all of what that stuff is. We reject all of what that evil is. We reject all. And the thing is, that's the bigger picture about this, is that there are many different people who are narcissistic, who probably aren't into, the satanic things. Not to say every narcissist is a satanic individual, but they do have a negative nature about them. They do. And they have this insufferable need to be able to feed off of other people's energies, man. It's like they feed off of your good nature by basically trying to convert it into a negative nature. They definitely do this. So let's take a look at what this photo shows, shall we? If I can even read any of this. This is the narcissistic relationship wheel. Inequality and unfairness. Threatening behavior. Disrespect. Remember, you got to give respect to get it. That goes for the narcissist as well. You got to give respect in order to get it back. Insecurity and lack of support. Lying and cheating. Irresponsible parenting. I guess that's what that says. Inability to be responsible. Opportunistic partnership. Now, let's look at some of these things that has been said, like irresponsible. Well, I don't know about irresponsible parenting. I've never really dated someone who I believe was a narcissist. The relationship just had unusual situations that just wasn't working out for the both of us. There was one relationship that was a pain in the ass, but I'm not gonna go into that because that's not what this video is about. Lying, insecurity and lack of support, disrespect, opportunistic partnership, and is threatening behavior. Well, the threatening behavior is definitely there. If you want to, if you curious, like, you can just look at that video of, just look at some of the videos of when I was dealing with some of these individuals, and you see narcissistic behavior. I just wish I could have gotten all the other times on film for you all, so you can see exactly how I handled it, because it's every time I get into the discussion with the narcissist in an actual one-on-one, face-to-face discussion, most of the time, I always just end up pissing them off every single time, because I don't buy into their deception. I don't buy into the manipulation. They want to change the subject. I'm saying, no, we're not changing the subject. We're keeping the subject as it is. We're not going to sit there and no, I'm not going to let you take this train off its tracks. That ain't happening. We're not going way off in left field. We're going straight where the destination's supposed to be, where this conversation's supposed to be at, not where you're trying to derail it to. No, not gonna happen. They want to deflect. I'm saying no. No. You're not finna deflect your insecurities about that you feel about yourself by trying to make me feel bad because of how much of a piece of shit of a person you are. It's just not going to happen. No. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just stating the fact. The truth of the matter is, a narcissistic person has several insecurities about themselves that they want to deflect away from. So they want to basically bring attention to the insecurities or weaknesses of another person, whether they may or may not even be true, in order to, so people will basically look away from whatever illness is about them. But they'll see that of which is about someone else. They do this a lot too, by the way. And in most cases, when you look at it from a logical perspective, it really doesn't make any bit of sense. It doesn't. I've seen argumentative situations that just do not add up that people will make, and I'm like, have people really have people mentality really gone that low? And it has, man. It really has. People will do some things that and just make various different things to try to just as an it's just lazy too, just to make fun of somebody, just to get a kick out of making fun of somebody. But when you do it back to them, they don't like it. Well, how do you think the person that you're doing that crap to feels? They don't like that shit either. Why fuck with somebody if you don't want to be fucked with yourself? Why do that? Why do you even set yourself up for something like that? It makes absolutely, and the thing is that they convince themselves that a person is weak, and they look to, see what they can get out of that weakness, whether it's, just a good time on how boring certain things are. And I've dealt with guys who were like this in a way. There was situations to where I guess it was a female who may or may not have had interest in me or whatever. So the guy would feel the need to basically try to find a way to belittle me by making, as a result of making himself look, greater by comparison in a way. But the thing is that if I'm at work, I have no interest in dating any of my coworkers, period. I go to work to earn a living. Simple as that. If I go to school, same thing, because the same shit happened there too, to where and I'm telling you, not all females are like this, but there are some females who instigate scenarios like this. I know, because I've not only experienced situations like this, but I even talked to some females who can even confirm that these things happen. That there are females who would instigate stuff like this to happen, and I've experienced more than once. And the thing is, it's super annoying, man, when this shit happens. It really is. It really is. It's some of them. Some of these types of females think this stuff is cute. It's not. It's really not. It really isn't. And the thing is that it's just one of those things that make it that much more difficult of the actual good women that are out there to find an actual decent relationship. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. There are good women, there are good men out there, but the problem is that the enemy utilizes structures and basically tries to deflect people's eyes onto the negative. You ever notice the entertainment industry is all about, oh, look who cheated, look who did this, look at all of this infidelity going on. But you never see anything about togetherness because they're promoting all this negative shit. They never want to talk about togetherness. They never want to even acknowledge anything that's good going on. People who are making it work. As soon as you even hear people even go out of their way to come up with the rumor that there's someone's cheating in a relationship, just to F it up. When two people, a man and a woman, seem to find a common interest in one another. And I'm telling you, I've actually met a while back. There was this Puerto Rican woman that I met on the bus back when I was still in high school, and dude, I will never forget that this happened. Some of you might laugh if I tell you this story, but I didn't know what to think, and I didn't even know what to do at this point. We got into we went to the same school. We got into a conversation. I was about to ask her for her number, and this guy looked like he was as tall as what the heck is that dude's name, man? Almost. I don't want to say Mini Me from Austin Powers because he wasn't that short. But there's a dude. There is a dude's name. There's a dude out there who has the same height as this guy, and I can't think of his name, man. I can't think of his name. I really can't. He's a short guy though. This dude, he had to at least be around maybe like four. He wasn't no child though. He definitely wasn't no child. Probably was like somewhere in his teens or whatever, and he looked like he was around like maybe like four something, maybe 4'3", somewhere around that height. And this guy is super freaking rude, man. He just sits in the open seat that's in between both me and her. He starts talking to her or whatever, right? Just interrupts the conversation. Doesn't say excuse me, nothing like that. He just interrupts it, says a few things. She's not even interested in it, and he realized this and he just walks off. I was so blown away by what had happened. I'm like, you know what, dude? I don't know if I even should I continue the conversation because she looked like she wanted me to. I mean, she kept looking back and stuff. She did, but by then I was already like close to my stop. And the thing is that like if I hadn't gotten off that train, technically, yeah, it was like not really a train, but like the subway that we were on because they do have subways going through that town and whatnot. The thing is that if I hadn't gotten off, then I would have had to waited until that thing turned around, or at least wait another 30 minutes for the other one to come by to get on that one to head back, and then that's extra money. And I had since I'm going to school, I got a budget. I mean, sure, they do. If you're a student, they do give you like discount prices and stuff. And even the teachers will like give you a transit pass, right? Just just for the day in case you're in an emergency situation where you need transportation. But by then I'm like, you know what, dude? At the same time, I'm kind of mad, but at the same time, I'm not because it was super funny in a way. But the thing is that, man, the lesson here is that like there are people who will see a natural foundation of a relationship that has potential, even if it's just a small spark, and they will go out of their way to destroy that if you allow them to. That's the realization that I had, and how desperate this system is to prevent any type of legitimate relationship out there. And even with people who are together, they want to try to make it all up, all get all up in these women's heads, man. Talking about oh, you need to make sure he paid you every and everything, man. All this money and type of stuff like that. I'm not finna do the Eddie Murphy thing, but like it's funny. I'm probably gonna watch that guy today because this when he says it is funny, man. It is really funny, but it's the truth. It is the truth. Look, man, if both women, the thing is that it should be both women and men building things together. It shouldn't be like, me, myself, and I just built this. It shouldn't have to be like that. I'm a MGTOW, but I'm a MGTOW only in lines of defense because of this damn system and its manipulation. I'm not interested in being a damn victim and just being used as cattle for this damn system, for these pompous jackasses when these in these court systems to just make any type of money that they can off the woman and the guy. No, I'm not going down that road. And for them to do the same shit to my children afterwards, no, I'm not even gonna drop the F-bomb. But forget that. Forget that, man. No. I would gladly settle down. I would gladly find a beautiful woman, both inside and out, of course, and settle down if the situation was right. But I mean, just look at what we're dealing with now, especially from these experiences, man. Just look at how much all of us have had to endure and deal with. I could never forgive myself if I brought my own into a world like this. I could never forgive myself. I'll give people the benefit of a doubt on the other thing because they don't know. They didn't know how rotten this world really is. They had somewhat of an idea that all this corruption and stuff like that existed, but they just didn't know how far out it was. I'd say I'll leave it to both destiny and in God's hand, in the Most High's hands, on whether I actually will settle down and find myself a woman. But going through this program, man, I would basically go to the ends of the earth to protect it. And I'd see no other greater way to protect it than to not start one. But the problem with that is that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to settle down. They don't want you to have a family. They want you to basically, if you don't have any family at all, they don't want you to have one because it's a way for them to depopulate. Now, if you do have a family, they want to basically get in everybody's heads to program them. You, the wife, and the child, especially the child. Man, dude, it's just, it's just so complicated, man. It's like it's a massive weight on my shoulders to even thinking about it. I had to work to basically take care of both the woman I love and the children, my own children, right? To support them. But while I'm gone, it's either the woman's gonna be, my woman's gonna be working if she chooses to do so, or if she wants to stay home and watch the kids. But then they have to be able to, the kid has to be wise enough to know. And dude, these perps, man, dude, they come at you in freaking droves. They come at you in swarms everywhere, out of every nook and cranny. And I'm not joking, dude. Everywhere you go, they're there. They make their presence known all the time. All the time. But I believe if we're being shown certain things and certain things of which the enemy wishes upon us, and it doesn't, it basically just gets denied right in their faces, I believe that's God's protest as this shall not pass. And yes, that is a Lord of the Rings reference. It is. But actually, no, the reference would be "You shall not pass." Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, there you go though. Little bit of a rant, and then of course the explanation of what a narcissist is, their weaknesses and strengths, and what you need to be mindful of. Remember, if you find yourself in a position of dealing with a narcissist, remember, do not allow yourself to get into an emotional like state to where you're basically are in an argumentative state, or you're raising your voice, you're swearing. Don't let them get you there, because that's exactly what they want you to do. That's precisely what they want you to do. Weigh the situation on how much nonsense it is. Of course, just about every single one of them is full of nonsense, but you will find that there are situations to where you can't just immediately back out. You gotta at least lay down some groundwork, then make your statement, and then you can tell them to back off and understand to when when to stop and when to go with words. Don't ever allow them to be able to use your goodness against you, and don't ever allow them to basically try to convert your goodness into rottenness. This is MM's Strategy Guide, sending prayers, love out to everyone out there across the world. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay strong with positivity, and stay fierce against negativity.